When someone is looking to buy a piano, there are three general age categories to choose from. The first one is a vintage piano, which could be considered to be anywhere from the early 1900s in through the golden age of pianos, which many people consider to be the 1920s and 1930s. But the main thing to consider about this piano, actually there are several things to consider about a piano from that age, but one thing to consider is that any piano from that time period is going to need extensive rebuild work if it has not had it already. So when you're looking to buy a piano from the golden age, especially if it hasn't been restored already, is more of a decision of how good is the rebuilder that you're going to have work on it, rather than how good is the actual piano or what name is on the fall board. The next category of pianos that someone might consider buying would be the used piano market. And for the sake of discussion in this video, we're going to consider a used piano to be a piano that was made within the last 30 years. But honestly, I have played on pianos, beautiful pianos from the 1950s and 1960s that also were excellent pianos. So a used piano really can extend pretty far beyond this 30-year range. But just to keep things simple, in today's video, we're going to be considering a used piano to be one that was made within the last 30 years. One of the most common brands of pianos that you will see on the used market are Steinways of varying sizes. Years ago, Steinway used to say that their new piano's main competitor was in fact a used Steinway, and that is because historically, a used Steinway piano will retain about 80% of its original value. Today, if you go on eBay or any other site where you could buy a used piano and look up perhaps a Steinway B, you will know that a brand new Steinway B costs around $100,000, whereas a used Steinway B in very good condition costs around $60,000. If you were going to buy a Steinway D then, a new piano would cost around $160,000, $180,000, while a used one would actually cost less than a Steinway B. And if you know what a Steinway B and a Steinway D are, which you probably do, you'll know that a B is 7 feet and a D is 9 feet. So why would a 9-foot concert grand cost less used than a 7-foot piano? The reason for this is because many people are actually getting rid of their concert grands as well as some smaller pianos for a number of different reasons. Historically, churches have bought 7-foot pianos and concert grand pianos to fill the halls with beautiful music during services. But today, many churches are actually buying digital pianos, which really is a shame. While digital pianos today are far better than they were 10 or 20 years ago, I have found no digital piano that can accurately replicate the sound of a real concert grand. They don't have the warmth and the beautiful acoustic resonance that a real piano would have. However, a digital piano is far cheaper to maintain than an acoustic piano, which brings us to our next reason people sell pianos: because of the maintenance. You have to tune them, you have to regulate them. As they get older, parts might need to be replaced, perhaps something would break, or you might want to, replace the strings or something. That stuff can be expensive. But that is also why we created the Piano Forum series, to show that many of this work, such as regulation and tuning, can actually be done by you, and it doesn't always need to be done by a hired professional. The final category of pianos I'm going to be talking about in this video would be, of course, the new pianos. And there are many reasons to think about why someone should buy a new piano. A new piano is going to perform excellently, especially once you get into the 7-foot and the 9-foot ranges. The bass is going to be beautiful. The action, if it's gone through, is going to play extremely well. It's going to be smooth, it's going to respond well, and it's going to have all of the latest features of a modern piano, such as precisely manufactured action parts and things like that. However, as I have discussed already, a new piano costs a lot more money than a used piano. And when you buy a new piano, it's going to be very difficult to resell it, and it's also going to lose much of its value as soon as you buy it. In my case, I found the best deal to be in the used piano category. I bought this piano for a mere fraction of the price of what a new piano would cost, and I see that happen all the time in the used piano market. This piano is virtually like new, it plays like new, it sounds like new, and if you do a little bit of search and you work pretty hard, you can find an excellent deal in the used piano market. Another thing to talk about with a used piano is that, and this is something I had to consider as well, is that a used piano, since it costs less money, you can put more money towards other things. And since I'm setting up a recording studio and I bought this used piano for much cheaper than a new piano would cost, now I have excess money to spend on really cool instruments. I'm looking towards getting a Celesta, which is a rare and unusual instrument. It's similar to a piano, except it sounds like beautiful bells. And another cool thing I'm thinking about getting is a concert grand marimba, which is as long as a concert grand piano, spanning 5 octaves, and it sounds so cool. So hopefully you'll be seeing videos on those things in the future, and those came from the excess money left over from buying a used piano. And hopefully you found this video enjoyable and informative, and if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comment section below.